What's up, guys? Welcome back. Sukuna versus Jogo from Jujutsu Kaisen Shibuya incident. This is my favorite little moment in the whole fight. I know the fire arrow is pretty cool as well when they kind of face off, and I drew that already, so I thought I'd draw this one. Landscape page, a pencil, and an eraser. Sketch it out lightly, hit pause if I go too fast. You can always do your ink on top of your pencil, so I recommend penciling and then ink on top if you want, of course. You could just leave it a pencil drawing. So let's start with Sukuna over this side, right? We're going to start with his eyes. He's kind of smiling, looking over at Jogo. So center point here, cross a little bit higher than the halfway, and we'll go diagonal line, and then a straight enough sort of one that comes across there. Maybe a little bit spikier at the end. I'll just thicken this up a little bit in here. Maybe across the top a little thicker as well. Okay, just like a little heavier on the eyelids, especially the top. So bottom eyelid line comes across up there. And then his iris and his pupils, so they're fairly big, right? So you got like brackets kind of touching the bottom of his eye there, coming from the top. And then his pupil in the middle, like so. He's got two little lines under his eye there. And then an eyelid line kind of just coming across the top of his eye, pretty flat. His eyebrow then, kind of arched, curving, like so. And then we add a space that we can like add a bit of color. So just like a curving line back there. Okay. So he's kind of like looking over this way. His head is kind of maybe a bit in 3/4 sort of pose a little bit. So this eye is kind of a different shape, right? So we'll come over about half an eye or 3/4 of an eye width. It's not like a full eye. The eyes are kind of bigger in Jujutsu Kaisen sometimes. So like, I'd say 3/4, maybe like his tear duct to like the corner of his iris, like this side of the eye, will give you your distance, right? So you want like 3/4 about there. And so you can't really fit a full eye in between. It's probably 3/4 of an eye. Right, so you got that diagonal line, and again, this eye is probably starting a little bit higher up. It's kind of in line with the top of the eye rather than this, because his head is looking that way. So then you'll just bring this across the top. And then we'll add a little spike here at the front. And then we'll just thicken some of these lines at the top. You want to leave it pretty spiky at the ends, but maybe just thicken some of these like that. So slightly different shape, okay? It's not flat, it's going like this way, because you want to give the impression that his head's turned. And then the bottom eyelid line, like so. His iris and pupil, again, relatively big. There, and then his pupil in the middle. He's no wrinkles in the picture on this side, but we'll do it anyway. A line there, and an eyelid line going flat across, and then an arched eyebrow up and over that way. And then you just want to add like a little space that you can add a bit of color in that eyebrow, or just like fill it all in black. You could do that as well if you wanted. So his nose, pretty easy. You just got this curved line, kind of left of center. It's not like bang in the middle, it's over to the left. And then we got like some nostrils, like that. And he's got a big smile, big confident smile, right? So it sort of curves. It starts like from underneath, say his pupils, like, so it's like, or his iris, the inside, just underneath the inside of his eye. And this one goes like even a bit further, because the smile is more on this side. So if I was to mark it, I'd go there and we'd finish like here. So I'm like underneath the inside of the eye on that side, and sort of the outside of the eye there, the lips. See that? So this then goes down and then kind of bumps across his top lip and then goes up to that back there. We're going to add some teeth then inside in the bottom lip. It goes diagonal. Leave a little bit of a gap if you'd like. They do in the show, so we'll just go up the corner of his mouth there. And then we add just some kind of teeth lines and stuff inside. Just there, right? So he looks like super happy. He's having fun. And then his bottom lip here. It really gave us a sense of like Sukuna's power, like how easy he was able to beat Jogo. And then his chin, pretty square chin, just down here. So proportions of things, eyes to nose, so about the top eyelid there to the nose, about the same as nose to chin, and then nose to bottom lip, about the same as bottom lip to chin, like the middle of his bottom lip there. That and that are about the same, and this are about the same. Then we go for the jaw, so it just goes up the side of his face there. This one goes a bit higher than this one because when your face is in 3/4, especially in anime shows like this, they do it kind of different sometimes. Okay, it's close, but you know, this one kind of goes just like a little bit higher. It's kind of like the eye. It angles more that way. And then we change direction on this side, go up towards his ear. And on this side, we go like up around his cheek. Sort of like that. And we meet like his sideburn here somewhere. So there's like a little V sort of here for his hair. On this side, the V is not connected. It's like there, and then his ear comes out from there. The ear on this side comes around like so. Kind of like has these little bumps on it because we're looking at it from the side. And then inside, easiest way, letter J. But you can add a bit more if you'd like. So his hairline, just like loads of spikes, right? So like the V in the center is like here. So your forehead is the same size as your nose. So like the nostrils to the top of his nose there is about the same as top of the nose to the hairline. Roughly, right? If a character is facing forward, that's the distance. Okay? And then we'll go all the way down to the sideburn, just with this kind of lightning zigzag sort of stuff. All the way down there around his face. I'm not forgetting about the tattoos and stuff on his face. We'll just get like the head in and then we'll add all those details. So he's got that pink hair, right? And then like just like a normal shaved side of his head. So you got like a little spike on its own and then the shaved side of his head there. And then we got to spike it the whole way around. Okay, so we'll go all the way around, adding all these crazy, just sort of like shark fins. That's what I always think of when I'm drawing them, right? Kind of like this. Some of them are bigger, some of them turn different directions. But once you get it sort of going around his head, roughly like this, he should be okay. Okay, and then we just add some texture on the inside, so like some spikes on their own, kind of here. Okay, now I'll add the tattoos and all those details in his face, right? So the extra set of eyes underneath just on his cheek. Goes that way, just a little V, and then we'll open it up on the bottom and add another eye in here. It's just red. And then the other side, same thing again. And then we have the tattoos, right? So like V's just here. And you could color them black or go for a kind of a gray if you wanted. And then he's the ones on his chin, so like kind of like facing this way. So we'll go that way, and then one that goes up his cheek, so another sort of spike here, and then we'll go up the cheek, and it'll kind of disappear off. Does it go up to his ear? I'm not sure. It's hard to see, I can't remember. So I'm going to say it goes off his cheek here. Another one here. Goes that way. This one definitely goes off his cheek because his face is like turned away. There. And then a couple more on this side that we can only see sort of half of. Now we have the one that comes across his nose. And then we have diamond in the middle of the forehead. And then some sort of like, it's like arms, kind of spiky sort of symbols. It's like the diamond is like a head and there's like arms being held up, kind of. Or it's like two lightning sort of symbols as well. That's Sukuna's face. I think I got everything. Yeah. Right. So he's got Itadori's red sort of hood, right? So we can see like a little bit of his neck just there, but it's mostly like hood, right? So like his hood just like comes down that way. All these lines sort of crisscross one another. And it's like tied here. You could have like a neck muscle line coming down. And then this hood like goes around the back. And then it like bumps up around the back of his head. I'm not sure, is it a hood or is it like some sort of collar? I can't remember. I've never seen it being lifted up as a hood, so it's probably not a hood. And the inside sort of has all these sort of folding lines, sort of to show that like the fabric is being sort of pulled in different directions. Maybe another one in here. There's like yellow little buttons there. Right, so his half of his body disappears behind Jogo, but we can see like the shoulder just like leaning out this way, right? It goes down there. You got like an armpit sort of line, and then another jacket line there, and then the button. Now remember, if I'm going too fast, pause. Just hit the pause button. YouTube's good like that. Okay, so his other arm kind of goes in behind Jogo somewhere here. There's like rips and tears and stuff on his jacket, so it's up in here. There's like some fabric lines and stuff all here. Okay. So Jogo is like in here, and he's like has him by the collar, and his head is like in there. So I guess we get his white collar because it kind of frames in his head, right? So I'm going to put it like here, and it just will go up, and we have Sukuna's fingers somewhere here. So you could keep that line going, or you could leave a gap. It's kind of up to you. His hand will be in there somewhere. It's easier to leave a gap for me. Bum, 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 bum. Right? That's like his hood. It's like a big egg shape, right? So his head is in here, okay, and Jogo is like, or Sukuna is looking down at his sort of where his eye is. So we're going to put his eye here. So he has that big one Cyclops eye. Sort of like that. In the bottom. And he's looking real sad and he's looking down. So his iris and pupil just there. So he's got like all these holes in his face. Are they like normally there? No, they're not normally there. Okay. What do we do? So we get his ear in. So it's like this little bracket just on the outside of the eye. And then he's got like corks for ears. Or at least they look like corks to me. You know, like wine bottle corks. And it's got these little textures on them. His jaw will come down from there, and he's like his face is all like sagging, kind of. So it just goes down like this way. Got these bumps, and then his chin sort of around the bottom here. So his mouth is just done like that, like he's been scolded by a parent. And then there's all these sort of wrinkles and textures and stuff around his mouth. And then like all these sagging sort of face lines and looks like veins and things and lines around his eye. This. And then there seems to be like holes in his face. I think they're holes or they're like burn marks or something. So they look like the leopard prints that are on his costume, but they're like just smaller. So I'll add like, I can't remember the fight. Like, did he get hit in the face? I only saw it like a week or two ago. We'll put them in anyway. Just a lot of these black dots or circles. You can do them any way you want. Okay, so then top of his head, volcano basically. So it comes around like a mountain. Right, and then it's got a little ridge at the top. It's kind of how you draw a volcano, like when you were a kid or something. And he's got these ridges around the edge. Roughly drawn in, kind of like that. And maybe like some textures coming across. And then he's got a black pattern on his forehead, so I'll draw it in. But it's done with color, so he's just like liquid sort of pouring down, it looks like, or like tattoos or something. Like that. Okay. Pretty simple. Pretty simple character to draw, face-wise. And then his collar has a little sort of tie or bow tie or something in the middle with these zigzags on him. And then his shoulders are just like, just flat because he's all rounded and just hanging by his jacket. And his jacket closes just there. And there might be like, it's like a cloak sort of, so there might be like some fold lines and stuff just there. And some fold lines on his collar as well. Just add these, just following the shape. And it's all being pulled towards Sukuna's fingers, right? So you want to get that direction up, going that way. So Sukuna's fist is like here, right? So we got like fingers just relatively square drawn in, right? So you got like each one. Each finger kind of like this. They're kind of crudely done. They didn't sort of put a lot of effort into his hand, I guess because it's nearly out of frame. So I mean, not to say they didn't put in effort, sorry. It was a great show. But you know, like sometimes they prioritize certain things in the drawing to get other things done. which makes sense. And Knuckles at the top. Sorry, Mappa. Didn't mean to insult your hand. I still get hands. Okay, so like little knuckle lines and stuff like that. And then Jogo has leopard patterns kind of all over his body. So, you know, you can do these kind of random shapes, or you can try and copy it as accurately as you want. But it changes, I noticed, every time they draw him. It's like different patterns. So they don't mind, so I don't mind. Bum, bum. Boom. Jogo versus Sukuna. That's it, I think. Oh, he's got a little drop of sweat. Right there. Hope it's helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.